So apparently, Sega's latest video games haven't been doing too well in terms of sales, probably with Sonic Frontiers being an exception. And the reason I say that is because Sonic Superstars definitely got overshadowed by Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which came out on October 20th. And obviously, it wasn't really a smart decision to release Sonic Superstars the same day as Super Mario Brothers Wonder because Super Mario Brothers Wonder did like 4.3 million in terms of sales, and I don't think the sales figures for Sonic Superstars was even reported. And then you have Persona 5 Tactica, which came out this past year, and even though the game looked fun and the aesthetics looked cool and everything, um, I don't I don't recall reading any like sales figures for that either. You know what I mean? Not saying that's a bad game or anything, but it seems like Sega and Atlas has been doing everything in their power to milk the Persona 5 name as much as they possibly can. And the thing is, a lot of people are kind of sick of that and they're just waiting for them to announce Persona 6, which I have no idea when that's going to be. Um, I doubt we'll get an announcement for Persona 6 later this year, but I could be wrong. I'm not too sure how far in development Atlas is in terms of Persona 6, but nothing's leaked or anything. So, they're probably in like the early developmental stages of Persona 6. But but yeah, I think Sega was a bit pissed off because you know, their most recent games from 2023 did poorly in terms of sales, but despite that, it was reported that Sega's revenue rise to like 2.7 billion, and it's up from a year-to-year basis because I believe it was reported that the that the sales were up like 28% from the previous year of that, and I do feel that that's something that's pretty good because like you look at Square Enix, they lost a lot of money from Final Fantasy 16, and I believe it was the Forspoken game. So financially, Sega is in a better position than Square Enix is in right now, and a lot of people are very uncertain about the future of Square Enix and what direction they're going to go and what direction they're going to take to try and connect with consumers and people who are gamers and all that stuff. As far as Sega's concerned, we all know they're bringing back older IPs because we're supposed to be getting a new Streets of Rage game in the future. We're supposed to be getting a new Crazy Taxi game in the future, and hopefully those games will end up like some of the games I just mentioned that came out back in 2023 that did poorly in terms of sales. I still feel like there's a lot of money to be made with the Streets of Rage series because Streets of Rage 4 ended up being a commercial success when it came out back in 2020. Not to mention that not too long ago, I'd say about a week or so ago, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was released for multiple game systems. And, for the most part, it seems like the game has gotten like, pretty good like reviews and all that stuff. I'm not exactly sure how well it's done in terms of sales, but let's just give it a couple of months because the game just came out. But I do feel like Sega has the potential to have a better year in 2024 than they did this past year because 2023 was very competitive in relation to gaming. There were all kinds of releases, particularly in the RPG genre of gaming. You had Baldur's Gate, you had Diablo 4, you had Hogwarts Legacy. There's just so many games that came out to a point where just about anything Sega had released in 2023 got overshadowed for the most part. And I do feel like with the remastered version of Sonic Generations, featuring Shadow and the Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth game. I do feel that those two games have the potential to do well in terms of sales, and I do feel like well, I mean, I feel like, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth could possibly have the potential to win some type of category in terms of being, a game of the year candidate for 2024. But that's hard to say because, we're way too early in the year. It doesn't look like 2024 is going to be um as much of a big year as 2023 was in terms of high profile video game releases or anything like that. But in terms of financials and all that stuff, Sega's not doing too bad, even though their last couple of games didn't do too well in terms of sales. But at the same time, it hasn't even been a full year yet, so we may have to give Sonic Superstars and Persona 5 Tactica um, a couple of more months or like another year or whatever to see how well those games do in terms of sales. But the big thing that people are looking forward to seeing from Sega or from Atlas is Persona 6. And that's something that might not come until like a year or two from now. But but yeah, even though Sega's games have been like suffering for the most part, um I do feel like the games from this year, they have the potential to shine more, because there's not necessarily a lot of games to look forward to, seeing this year outside of like indie games, maybe, Tekken 8 or what have you. But but yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what kind of year Sega has in 2024 in comparison to the year that they had in relation to 2023.